Hello. Wait, hold on. Wait.
You're tuned in to the Foxboro BeatCast, a podcast for Patriots fans by Patriots fans. And here are your hosts, is Kaleb McChesney and Ryan Moore.
Hello and welcome to the Foxboro BeatCast, everybody. I am your host, Kaleb McChesney. We are back for season 2. There's been some ups, there's been some downs, a lot of downs in 2023 to keep it real, and keep it a buck, as the kids say. I'm your host, Kaleb McChesney. Once again, I'm joined by my co-host, back again, full time. We signed him up to the max contract that we were gonna offer Brandon Ayuk before he decided not to come here. Ryan Moore is back and ready to go. Ryan, happy August 6th to you. Happy Brandon Ayuk sweepstakes day. How are you?
I'm doing amazing, man. You know what? Last year was a joke. It was a terrible season. It was miserable. But every year is a new year. It's new faces in New England, a whole new regime, a whole new quarterback of the future.
And by
Bunch of
quarterback of the
talent.
future, you do mean Joe Milton, correct?
I actually mean Bailey Zappi. This is the year.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, the guy getting 0 reps with this with anybody.
Gerard Mayo is a genius, all right? He's just making sure the whole league doesn't realize the absolute terror Bailey Zappi's going to unleash.
There's no practice film on Bailey Zappi under the Van Pelt offense.
Yeah. Nope. Just wait. You guys wait. They're not going to play him at all in the preseason. Week 1, Bailey Zappi walks out in the field, a public service announcement in Cincinnati, Ohio, and
wait.
Fills up the Gatorade.
So the Patriots audio people are going to take over Paul Brown Stadium?
Yeah. Hey, it's Paycor
like
now. Game? I was just there in Cincy in June. It's Paycor. Yeah, it's going to be Bailey Zappi's going to walk out in the field. He's going to do like the Ray Lewis dance or whatever. He's going to get hyped up and fill up a lot of Gatorade.
So, like week 1, right? The Patriots are looking at 3rd and 1. Bailey Zappi converts it on the QB sneak or whatever. And the whole stadium is going to go, and that's good for another Patriots first down, like they do at Gillette Stadium.
Yeah, and they're going to play whatever. I don't want to lose your love tonight. That song.
No. After every touchdown, this is our house, and they have the Minutemen in the end zone. It's Cincinnati. Cincinnati is getting the Gillette Stadium experience.
Yeah, we're taking over your turf in September, Cincy. But on a more serious note, it's great to be back. It truly is. Last year, there was a lot of stuff that went wrong. This year, I think it's going to be. We'll talk about in the previous. I don't know how great the Patriots are going to be, but I expect.
They're going to be horrible. It's going to be bad. But how much work? I said it in 2023 after 2022. Like, there's no way the offense is as bad as it was under Matt Patricia and Joe Judge. We have a real offensive coordinator. We have a real offensive line coach.
And what happened?
It got so much worse. It was so much worse. I never thought that I'd say I'd rather have Matt Patricia any day in my life. But that's what it was. Now Bill O'Brien go coaching the BC War Eagles down in Boston.
Yeah.
And Joe Judge, I don't know where the hell he is.
Begging Belichick to make an appearance on the Pat McAfee show.
Is Joe Judge still on the Patriots, like in some shape or form?
No.
Or did Mayo give him the boot?
I feel like he might be unemployed right now.
He should be unemployed.
Oh, he is a senior analyst for the old Mississippi Rebels.
No kidding.
Wow. What that's something, ain't it? Yeah, NFL head coach to college football analyst in a couple of years.
Not he's an advisor. Like, what do these advisors even do for Ole Miss? Like, no, we're gonna give him the yellow Lambo instead of the red one to get him to come over here.
Listen, Lane Kiffin, whatever Joe Judge tells you, you do the opposite. Okay, champ?
Seriously. All right.
Like that's actually it is a good point to make though. Quickly, a lot of these teams bring in failed head coaches or failed general managers to be advisors, and then oftentimes to me it feels like whatever you say, do the opposite. There's a reason why you're an advisor and not a GM or a head coach.
Seriously. But we do have a loaded show for you guys. We've already kind of gone on some tangents. This is going to be what the show really looks like in 2024. The 2023, I was a little Felger about it. I was a little too tied to the script. This is how the show is supposed to be run. This is how it's going to be run. We have an A, B, C, D. We have this agenda to hit, and there's no other if, ands, or buts about it. It's gonna be a little more loose, a little more relaxed. The censors are off. Ryan has free will to say whatever the fuck he wants, whenever the fuck he wants to say it.
I won't go that crazy. No. Not. I'll chill a little bit. If you piss me off enough, Patriots, I'll unleash hell.
No, seriously.
But for now, it's summer vibes. It's training camp. Preseason's in a couple of days. You know.
Preseason is in a day when these people are watching.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
and Bryce Young's not even playing. I think he's scared of Keon White. He's ducking him.
Dude, watch Bryce Young come in week 1, and he's like no longer looking like a high school sophomore, and instead he's like growth spurt 6'2", like 235 pounds.
No, he's suddenly just like Cam Newton.
They gave him the Captain America like injections.
And the Panthers would still find a way to screw it up.
Yeah. I mean, when we get to NFL season previews, I'll say some nice things about the Panthers. But for now, this is a Patriots show.
There are nice things to say about the Panthers. Like, yeah, thanks for letting us beat you.
You know what? I can find something
optimistic a win in
to
Super
say
Bowl 38, you losers.
I'll find something optimistic to say about them. I like Xavier Legette. There. He's got a funny accent. If you hear him talk, I love it.
God, yeah.
I love the South Carolina country accent.
What do we got to do to get a guy with a funny accent up here in New England? I mean, Drake May. Drake May kind of
wanted Legette. Imagine Legette talking to the Foxboro media, man. Like, oh, I'd love it. I would love it, man.
Like, can you imagine the guys at 98.5 trying to break down that accent?
Oh, man.
I don't know what he's saying, Mike.
I could only understand 2 words, Mike. Are we sure this guy's receiver 1 material?
4 more hours of that when we come back. But we have a lot of stuff to go over. So let's just dive right. Let's just sink our teeth right into it. We got a whole offseason to recap. We had a whole draft. We have some new names across the offense, some names on the defense. Some guy we brought in last week after some bad news happened. We got some guys returning from injury. And we brought back most of our good players from last year. Believe it or not, there were good players in 2023. So let's start off in the order of which they came with this free agency haul. The first signing from free agency. Do you remember who that was, Ryan?
Antonio Gibson.
The running back, yes, from Washington.
Running back, almost kind of a receiver. He played receiver at Memphis. I do remember he converted to running back in the NFL. He's a big body. I'm actually fairly excited to see Antonio Gibson play. Yeah, he's still young. He's really fast. Big body guy. He's had some trouble with fumbles and, has he been the best running back in the world? I know Commander fans are a little frustrated with him at times. But for, what was it, 2-year contract they got him to?
It might just be a 1.
We should probably have that up, shouldn't we?
Yeah, if only there was some machine that we had that could look that up for us.
Hey, I'm looking it up right now, mister.
I'm mostly excited because it'll reduce the wear and tear on Ramondre Stevenson, who had his first big injury scare last year with the sprained ankle. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, it gives an interesting change of pace, and I mean we'll talk about it a little bit more. But Alex Van Pelt's offense likes those kind of like speedier zone runner types. It's a 3-year contract, valued at $11.25 million. So he'll be making $3.75 million per year. He's only 25.
He's only
So
25.
yeah.
It feels like he's been in the league for a little while, hasn't it?
Well, he got drafted in what, 2020? Oh,
God.
he's 26 now. He's born. He's a June '98 baby, so he's 26. Okay. Um. Yeah. You know what? Like he's only 26 years old. His contract will take him till his age 29 season. I could see him being something pretty fun in Alex Van Pelt's offense. Where if you look at the Cleveland Browns, the past however many years Van Pelt's run the show there, they've always had good running back production. They could get someone like Dearness Johnson off the whatever from like the what was he playing? Was he playing XFL football or something like that? Like
The
he was
Ernest
playing lower level
Johnson.
football. I'm pretty sure Cleveland signed him, and he was pretty productive there.
Except for that game in 2021 against the Patriots, where Mac Jones
But,
fooled us all.
yeah, but the overall point is Cleveland gets good. Cleveland got good production out of running backs. I mean, yeah, Nick Chubb is a stud. Kareem Hunt,
Very good.
he's a pretty good player as well.
He's a good
You know,
Kickstarter.
Yeah, got one hell of a leg.
Nice initial burst when
Yeah,
he keeps the legs moving.
yeah, but he is a good player, and so I think with Ramondre Stevenson, Antonio Gibson, we'll talk about it later with Kevin Harris. This just the running backs might not be that bad. Might be good.
Maybe.
Awesome.
And again, I think in that room you still have JaMychal Hasty from last year, who's had flashes of being like an NFL running back.
Yeah, I remember Hasty at a Baylor. I think the 49ers signed him. He has some talent. He's a small. I think he's like only like 5'8".
Yeah, he's tiny.
Like,
he's tiny.
but he's productive. So
And then you have Kevin Harris,
very productive in college.
Kevin Harris is kind of a bowling ball of a running back.
Yeah, yeah. So you got an interesting blend of like skills in that running back room. I think they're going to look to use Gibson as a bit more of a receiving back, kind of get him back more to where he was in college, which is more of a hybrid receiver running back type, and then use him in like the stretch run zone running type of scheme where, hey, Antonio, you run 4-3, just outrun the defenders. We'll try to get you good pull blocks. Just go and run, outrun them.
And obviously Stevenson is most likely going to be the bell cow. He's still going to get the bulk of the carries.
Yeah.
As he should.
So
it's
going to be a good. It's going to be good.
Is Ramondre Stevenson a top 10 running back?
I think the peaks of Ramondre Stevenson are top 10. Like, he just needs to keep it consistent. He hasn't had a consistent offense around him, though, except for his rookie year. So, I think under Alex Van Pelt, it wouldn't shock me if he becomes a top 10 running back in the league consistently. And you know what else wouldn't shock me about Ramondre Stevenson, as we talk about, like, a little bit later with his as pertains to his contract? The Patriots' all-time rushing yards leader is the lowest in the NFL.
I 100% believe that. We don't have those, like, we don't have the big name kind of staple running backs. I mean,
you know who holds it?
Bam Cunningham?
Yeah, it's Sam Bam.
Who died not too long ago.
Yeah, rest in peace, by the way.
But like, you think of the big Patriots running backs, like, there isn't like a name that stands above them all. Like, you have the Stephen Ridleys, you have the LeGarrette Blunts, you have the Corey Dillons. I mean, you go all the way back. I mean, Kevin Martin, not Kevin Martin, Curtis Martin.
Curtis Martin would easily have it if he didn't snake the Patriots.
Kevin, back in the 90s. Who the hell is Kevin Martin?
Kevin Martin.
But yeah, like, that was that was probably the most talented running back the Patriots have ever had.
Oh, Curtis Martin's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, man. That guy was incredible. It just sucks his best years came with the freaking Jets, man.
Kevin Martin is a retired professional basketball player who played 12 seasons in the NBA.
I was gonna say, I feel like I remember the name Kevin Martin.
He played for the Sacramento Kings, to the Rockets, to the Thunder, to the Timberwolves and then retiring with the Spurs in 16, where I believe did they win the championship that year, 2016? No,
No,
that was a little
that
after.
was the
A little after
Cavs.
their time.
You
Yeah,
know, the last Spurs title came 2014.
Yeah. That was the Cavs 3-1 comeback.
This is why. But yeah, as far as like the other free agents go, we have like a whole like
We do have a list. We have a list. Sit
list.
tight, people. We did our homework for this show. Believe it or not. Who's next? KJ Osborne.
KJ Osborne. Yeah, I was gonna say.
What can you tell us about KJ from Minnesota?
Well, he's not. Is he the fastest receiver on planet Earth? From what we've seen, no. Is he the most physically gifted receiver? No. But what I can tell you and what Kirk Cousins can tell you from his time playing with him is that he believes KJ Osborne has a lot of potential. And that when you think about it in Minnesota, it's hard to kind of get a proper target share when you have Justin Jefferson, you can make a very strong argument he's the best receiver in football right now. You have Jordan Addison, who's extremely talented, just,
not too bright between the ears.
Yeah. Tone deaf.
Did you see like the day after he was arrested, like he posted a picture of him drinking at like 10 in the morning, like drinking a mimosa?
I saw that. Like that, especially knowing what happened with Kyrie Jackson. It's just like, dude.
Oh yeah, literally like a week after his teammate died.
That's why that's one of the most tone deaf arrests. Like I'm not gonna try to chastise him. I hope he gets, if he has like any issues.
He's like
help.
He's like our age. Like, come on.
Yeah, just don't be an idiot and don't be tone deaf, please. But also Adam Thielen as well, before Thielen left for Carolina. So this might be KJ Osborne's first true opportunity to kind of take a receiver room, because there's no true receiver one in New England right now. We'll talk about there is a player available. New England's hot and heavy for him, Brandon Ayuk.
I wonder who you could be talking about.
Yeah, but for now, KJ Osborne is someone that this is his time. He's on, I believe, a 1-year contract. Yeah, a 1-year contract at $4 million per year. He could really pop off and either stay in New England or get a big old contract of free agency. We'll see. This is his make or break. Kirk Cousins was really, really complimentary of him, and so he thinks KJ Osborne could be elite. Do I think that? I don't know. I've never played with KJ Osborne, though Kirk Cousins has. So I think while I don't know if he'll be elite, I do think with more target share, we could see a pretty productive player.
Listen, like I'm not expecting him to come out here and be, Wes Welker, Randy Moss.
But then again, Wes Welker wasn't Wes Welker until Wes Welker got the chances.
He was already a pretty good slot receiver.
He was good, but like KJ Osborne's a good player.
Can he be 2014 Brandon LaFell for a year?
But I would greatly appreciate that.
I don't know if their play styles add up at all. Like
they're not. No, if I could give a more realistic comparable, I would say he's more like Kendrick Bourne. Maybe a little better, like more like gifted than Kendrick Bourne is.
Well, listen, I was trying to go back into the nostalgia bank and try to pull out a name like Josh Boyce.
Shaun. So you expect him to be bottom of the barrel, terrible, and listen, every 5'11" receiver is Deion Branch.
No, right. In the second iteration of Deion Branch.
Yeah. Every 5'10" receiver, Julian Edelman. Every 5'8" receiver, Wes Welker. So Demario Douglas, congrats to the new Wes Welker, bud.
No, seriously. I mean, I was convinced that Braxton Berrios was going to be baby Welker for us. Turns out he's
Berrios is still in the league.
He is. He's still pretty good. We chose the wrong guy.
Well, yeah.
Ryan Gunnar Olszewski can't play receiver. Braxton Berrios can.
Gunnar Olszewski kind of is not that good at football.
No, like he blows. And I said it from day one. We chose the wrong guy. And to Gunnar's credit, he won kick returner of the year in 2020.
Yeah.
In 2021, Barrios did it. Like, and Barrios can run routes, catches.
Barrios is like a wide receiver 4, wide receiver 3 type. Like he's decent.
Wouldn't you take him on New England now?
Yeah, absolutely. I would. I absolutely would.
And and I'm definitely not biased because I followed that Miami Hurricanes team like from week 1 all the way through. Then I had to witness Malik Rozier. I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah.
All right. So KJ Osborne, he slots in right now as like the wide receiver 4
KJ
for
Osborne,
New
former
England.
Hurricane, I should know.
What, another former Hurricane? KJ Osborne?
Yeah, he's former Miami Hurricane.
Really?
Yeah.
Did he play with Brad Kaya?
No.
2020? Yeah. He was out.
Yeah, he played in 2018. He also used to play for Buffalo as well. I do remember him at Buffalo. Yeah. Shout out my guy, Mr. Hurricane, Buffalo and Miami.
Can we get Mr. Hurricane on the pod?
Yeah, and he's a Vikings fan too. Mr. Hurricane is Mr. KJ Osborne, man. Like,
do you think that we could get Mr. Hurricane on the pod just to talk about KJ Osborne and Jalen Vinegar?
The hour-long show dedicated to KJ Osborne.
And we won't talk about Patriots whatsoever. We're just gonna talk about that Chargers franchise.
Are you talking about Kalispell, Mr. Hurricane?
Dude, how did you know that Barry Nseki was gonna be such a beast?
Yeah. What missed Tyrone Brightful tackle was your favorite?
Tell me more about that legendary 4-game run from Stephen Smiley. Oh, man. The people have no idea what we're talking about.
I know.
Check out Mr. Hurricane on YouTube.
Best YouTuber out there, especially for football content if you want.
Amazing.
Shameless shout out. I don't care. He's created so many great, videos.
Mr. Hurricane. Mr. Hurricane is him. Anyways, after that we'll go Chuck Okorafor. Excuse, I don't know. Okorafor. Can we just call him Chuck?
Yeah.
The offensive tackle, Chuck from Pittsburgh. He slots in as the Patriots left tackle 1 right now. The Patriots have kind of been doing in training camp, kind of just trying out new combos, seeing what fits, what doesn't. Sometimes it's Chuck, sometimes it's Vidarian Lowe. And then Patriots fans are like, oh my God, Vidarian Lowe. Sometimes it's Calvin Anderson. Ryan, what do you think about Chuck and how he fits?
So from what I've heard from Steelers fans, he's a really good pass blocker. Like, if you ever play Madden or you play NCAA, he's the pass protector, left, offensive lineman. Really high 80, really good pass blocker. He's going to keep the quarterback clean. His downfall has always been he's been a very mediocre run blocker. So I did find it a bit of a curious fit in Alex Van Pelt's system, knowing that Van Pelt likes running the football. That's kind of his specialty. But as far as offensive tackles go, as far as starting tackles go, I think he's going to give you what you should want from us, like at least a league average guy, is that he's going to keep the quarterback clean. Like you're not often going to say, dude, Chuck, what the fuck? Why did you let this edge rusher blow by you like 3 times a game, like Vidarian Lowe or like,
John Franklin Myers is not that good.
Yeah.
Is he still with the Jets, John Franklin Myers?
That's a good question.
Yeah. Do you think of the same play that I do when you think of John Franklin Myers?
Yeah.
What play is that?
But didn't he blow by? Oh no, he's with the Broncos now.
Oh, okay.
Didn't he blow by Vidarian and just smoke Mac Jones?
Yeah. Yes, but no. I'm thinking of a play. I think it was 2020. Was it 23? It was 23 or 22. We got gift wrapped a win because John Franklin Myers smoked Mac Jones like super late, and they gifted us the win.
Yeah, it's that guy. That Vidarian Lowe, not that good. I will not be optimistic if he somehow starts a game for us.
I wouldn't expect it, but
Corafor, I expect decent. I expect solid. the biggest compliment I can pay an offensive lineman is if I don't yell your name, that's all I need to know. Like, you're doing a good job.
It's like a corner. Like the less you hear about them, the better.
Yeah,
Like
unless you're
sometimes,
like pancaking dudes or like picking off guys like a cornerback. Like if your name is irrelevant to me, good job. Seriously, great job. You're doing great, man. I love you.
not to sound like Colin Coward here, but sometimes the kids who don't make noise in class are some of the best kids in the class, and that's what you
Yeah,
want about the tackles and the corners. So
yeah,
Chuck,
exactly.
I imagine, is going to slide right into LT1 unless Caden Wallace, who we'll get to it a little bit later, is like just a beast at left tackle that we didn't expect. Which sounds like could be the case from early indications from practice. So we'll see as far as that goes. We'll jump right over to Austin Hooper, the tight end. Me and Trent broke that news live when that happened in the offseason. I forget what episode we were recording or what the gist was, but we were just sitting here as like we are today, waiting on a bombshell to drop. That Austin Hooper signed with the Patriots as he's going to be our tight end too. I really like this signing. I think that Hooper is an experienced tight end. You know what you're getting with him. He can still play, maybe not to the level that he was in Atlanta or maybe the early days of Cleveland, but he's still a solid player. You could do a lot worse at tight end too. And listen, we had Mike Gesicki who did nothing. I expect Hooper to be more of the same. What do you think about it?
Yeah. Uh, from what I know about Austin Hooper is that like don't expect much from the blocking from him. That's not his game. What I expect from Austin Hooper is a smart tight end. He's really proficient at attacking zone coverage. Like that's always been what I've known about Austin Hooper is he finds open holes in the zone. He'll be the safe, reliable target in the soft spot, which or Jacoby Brissett or Drake May, maybe even.
You know what's
You need a
funny?
guy like that.
I
Just be
just
safe and reliable.
realized that I didn't write Jacoby Brissett down as a free agent acquisition.
Okay, well, you know what? Jacoby Brissett's more important than Austin Hooper, but Austin Hooper, I do think he's gonna be a good tight end too. Like very respectable tight end too. The only concern I do have with the tight end room is I don't like the blocking there at all.
Mhm.
I think it's very underwhelming. But
Maybe Mitchell
you know,
Wilcox is just the sixth tackle waiting to be.
Wilcox, I've heard he's a decent blocker. But yeah, no, the blocking there is going to be a bit funky. But as far as the receiving goes, Hunter Henry, we know what Hunter Henry's about. Austin Hooper, he's going to be quality tight end too. Jaheim Bell, who we'll talk about maybe a little later, he's got talent, but he's not a big body. So yeah, he'll be solid. As far as if you want to segue to Jacoby, we can segue to Jacoby.
Oh yeah, we should have probably let off with Jacoby.
We
He's
should have, yeah.
probably the most important signing that we have on our list, or that we should have had on our list. Good job, Kaleb. Jacoby Brissett. That's a familiar name for some reason, Ryan. I can't really put my finger on why Jacoby is so familiar. Can you maybe fill in the gaps that I'm missing?
Was there a Wolf Pack he's a part of in 2016?
No, right. The most handsome and best quarterback room in all of football.
Yeah. Three Stallions. Tom Brady, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Three NFL quality quarterbacks.
What a room, huh? You have the greatest ever. You have Jimmy Garoppolo.
No, you have the
And then,
greatest ever, and then you have Tom Brady.
oh, shut up. Enough of the propaganda. Ask
The
Garoppolo how his
propaganda never
career is going
ends.
now.
Like just wait until like he starts like showing out in Rams camp in Rams preseason. Like the feed's gonna be littered with Jimmy Garoppolo highlights.
Hey, do you think Garoppolo's asked that Matt Stafford if he likes blue Gatorade or red Gatorade better?
No, seriously. I mean, with that podcast that Stafford's wife went on, I'd be really concerned with Jimmy Garoppolo being my backup.
Oh God, I remember that. Yeah. Yeah,
But yeah,
that'd
Jacoby
have been
Brissett.
something.
What do you have to say about him?
But about Jacoby, yeah. I'm
Pumped,
excited. I
pumped.
actually
Yeah,
is excited to. I love Jacoby Brissett. I should say I love him as a human being, as a football player, all around, just first class gem of a guy. And anyone that's ever been around Jacoby Brissett can say that same exact thing. And not only that, but like your stereotypical backup quarterback is like, oh, well, everyone loves him, but like, you don't want him starting a game for you. No, that's not the case with Jacoby. He could start games, and he could do it really well. And he did it really well for Alex Van Pelt in 2022 when a certain quarterback that Cleveland gave a lot of money to that may or may not have did a lot of bad things and had to be punished for
now
the
his
bad
backup,
things.
that certain quarterback has a backup that's done some terrible things too.
Yeah, yeah. Cleveland's
Yeah,
certainly tough right now. I just remembered that. I just remembered Cleveland's backup is
Do you want to talk about Jacoby's stats in 2022?
I would have to pull them up.
I have
But
him. I have him.
do you have them up? Yeah, let's talk about it.
2,600 yards, 12 touchdowns, 6 picks, 4-7 as a starter.
One of those 4 wins came against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. Yeah, he beat the Bucks, he beat the Commies, he beat the Ravens 13-3. He beat the Texans 27-14. Beat the Bengals 32-13. Wow. Was Joe Burrow playing that game?
That's a good question.
He was.
He might have been. Yeah.
He was.
Yeah, I think that's like when the week 1 Bengals are the worst team in the NFL.
That was on Halloween. That was Monday Night Football.
Oh, was that the Halloween game? Oh,
I mean, he beat
what
Pittsburgh
week
and he
1
beat
game am I
Carolina.
thinking of? Really. But anyway,
Got pants
are those
by
stats
us.
anything super amazing? No, but he did his job. He was very reliable for Cleveland. He fits like a glove in Alex Van Pelt's system. I don't think our ceiling's too high in New England. I don't even know if our floor is that high. What I do know is Jacoby Brissett will bring stability, though. You know what you're getting out of him. Nothing sexy.
Not gonna put you in bad spots.
Yeah. Which he's a top 32 quarterback in football. I would say maybe a little higher than top 32. He's better than some of the other starters in the league, I would argue. But he's nothing super
Any
special.
certain ones in mind? That anybody want to trash?
I mean, Jarrett Stidham just got announced as a starting quarterback.
If it was Bo Nix, do you feel the same?
Yeah.
How about the Raiders?
I think he's better than Daniel Jones. Truth be told.
Wow, really?
Is it that shocking?
Daniel
Jones sucks.
I think Daniel Jones is more talented. He's just kind of dumb.
He's
like if Daniel Jones had his head on straight and had a competent coach. Never mind. He has Brian Daboll. I thought the Giants were still slumming it. No, they have Brian Daboll. He should absolutely be better, but I think he's got that deer in headlights kind of syndrome.
He's got like the Eli dumbass particles, but like Eli can shut it off in the clutch.
Eli was special. Reason. Yeah.
He's like Eli Manning that you ordered on Wish.com.
Timu Eli.
Yeah. Like an actor that's played, like someone once said the best. He's Jim Carrey that got paid to play Eli Manning in a movie. Like, this is who he is. Yeah, I'm not a big Daniel Jones guy. I haven't really ever been a Daniel Jones guy though. But yeah, no. There's definitely guys he's better than. Like, so with that being said, we do need to have the convo, and we're gonna have the convo when it comes to the draft talk or whatever, I guess preseason talk or whatever, about him versus like how long should Jacoby Brissett start before you put Drake May out there. But for right now, he's a starter. I think he's gonna start week 1, truth be told. And I think Jacoby's gonna keep the boat floating.
As well as he can with the surrounding talent.
Yeah,
What else do we got here? We got a couple more names. We got Joey Sly, the kicker. He's brought in to put what's his name? Chad
Chad
Ryland's
Ryland.
his feet to the fire a little bit. It looks like he's been kind of killing it in camp.
Yeah.
Ryland might be gone after screwing the Patriots out of the second pick
Yeah,
a
his
couple of
Chad.
times. Uh,
Um, Joey Sly's got a big leg. I do know that for a fact. Wasn't the most accurate kicker in the world, but definitely a much stronger leg than Ryland. I think he's more NFL worthy than Ryland is. We'll see. Preseason's a thing for a reason. I would like to see both get meaningful reps as much as they can.
our
But
punter is pretty good.
Behringer, I like Behringer. Yeah,
Yeah.
got a big leg.
How about we had a draft crush on him way back in the day when he came out. O'Shane Zimenez.
Old Dominion University, baby.
We both really
Um,
wanted him in New England when he was coming out.
I like O'Shane Zimenez. I have one sentimental reason for why I like him and a
What?
football reason for why I like him. I like him as a football player because he's athletic, he's tough, he's a big body. He's gonna bring a little speed burst off the edge, kind of like a big body Josh Uche. That's who I think he kind of plays like. Two, one of my fellow birthday twins in the NFL. I love you, O'Shane. You and Hunter Henry. We got all the birthday twins. Let's go.
You know my birthday twin?
Yeah, your favorite Celtic ever, Marcus Smart.
No, my favorite Patriot ever, Joe Milton.
Joe Milton. Let's go.
O'Shane Zimenez, not a ton on the stat sheet. 36 career or 71 career tackles, 48 games played over 5 years. For 70 games played. Yeah. And 6.5 sacks.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to be a sub package rusher. Kind of like you're not going to see him get every rep, but like he's one
Anthony
of those guys
Jennings
where
in
you
the
kind of,
rotation. Yeah.
yeah, rotational rusher. Like pin your ears back and just, go get him. Like how, him and Josh Uche together, kind of like one of those, like, you know, I think they call it like the NASCAR package.
Yeah.
I know you love your NASCAR, where you get your fastest rushers out there and you send them.
How about Sion Taki from Cleveland? Or
Good
was it them?
coverage linebacker. I think he's gonna be a good football player. Um, always was really reliable for the Cleveland Browns. He's still pretty young too.
On the pup
Um,
currently. He's 29.
is he? Oh, you know what? He's from BYU. He probably took a fucking 3-year mission.
That's probably
Those
exactly what
motherfuckers
happened.
in-
He's 29 years old. 2019 third
Holy
round pick.
shit! I remember he got drafted. What 2019, 2020?
2019 third round pick.
Holy fuck! Never mind. I thought he was younger than that.
He was placed on the pup list 2 weeks ago.
Okay, well, he might not even be alive, let alone
He's taking
the
another
fact that he's
mission.
old.
He's on another mission.
No. Obviously though, okay, he's not young anymore. I got that wrong.
Cooked.
But
Washed.
he is talented. He's a talented linebacker. He showed good flashes in Cleveland. I know Cleveland Browns fans are actually pretty upset that he walked for agency. So anytime I see a fan base and they're actually like upset a player leaves, I'm like, okay, that's a green flag. Green flag.
269 career tackles, 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 2 picks, and a touchdown.
Yeah, like I said, like he's more of a kind of like coverage run stopping type linebacker. I think that's his role. Should be
6'1",
solid.
245.
Yeah.
Wearing number 16 to honor Jacoby Myers.
Yeah.
Very close friends, those two.
Yep.
He actually asked for his blessing before he took the 16. Very, very heartwarming moment.
Oh, that's sweet of him.
Very
And then we
kind.
have one more on our list.
Mike Purcell, the newest one from last week. What can you tell us about the big
Unfortunate.
old nose tackle?
Yes, he's a generic. I don't want to say generic run stopper, but like he's just a run stopper. Like you're not going to expect much from him in the pass rush. he's kind of there to fill in depth because, unfortunately, Christian Barmore has the blood clots. But we'll talk about it a little later. Yeah, that's all. That's all I really got. Mike Purcell at this point.
3 years with the Niners, 5 years with the Broncos. I think 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 5 years with the Denver Broncos. Not a lot of sacks. Obviously,
yeah, he's a run stopper. He's a big body run stopper.
208 total tackles over 90 career games. Dude,
yeah,
he's a 6'3", 328. Good lord.
Yeah, he's a fridge
big fella.
down the middle, man.
Big fella.
So,
is he taking snaps away from Daniel Ukule?
Ekuale, isn't Ekuale a bit more pass rush oriented? I don't know. They're gonna be competing, I think.
How about Jeremiah Farms?
he's a depth move, and he's a solid depth move. Like nothing flashy, like nothing. But Christian Barmore, unfortunately, getting blood clots in the middle of training camp, and then
after signing the big deal.
Yeah, you're kind of
got ports on that.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we forgot another we forgot another re-signing as I'm looking at the list.
Who did we forget?
Kyle Duggar.
Did we seriously forget Duggar? Oh,
we forgot Kyle Duggar. It's a work in progress, folks.
Yeah.
Let's go over the draft class, shall we?
All right. Well,
let's go over.
Third overall.
We had the third pick. That's right. We had the third pick. There was a lot of controversy. A lot of people thought we might go defense.
I thought it was going to be offensive tackle. Yeah, personally,
that would have been that would have been an okay pick.
But yeah, Drake May.
Just a guy.
Yeah. So he's some baby faced kid from North Carolina.
Trent said he looked like me.
I don't really see it.
Me neither. Like maybe it's just like the hair, like poofed up and shit.
Well, there's not a lot of Matthew Perry ripoffs in the NFL.
No, right. I would be one of one. Listen, man. Everything went to hell when we lost Mr. Sunshine.
Yeah, man. My voice is crackling, motherfucker, man. I'm coming off a fucking cold, so.
Rest in peace, Matthew Perry. Birthday in 2 weeks.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Super funny guy.
Yeah.
Awesome Canadian.
Yeah, he's a good Canadian. No, I mean, not the best Canadian, currently.
No, there's a lot of Canadians that are really good. You got Ryan Reynolds. You have Chad Kruger in the gang.
Ryan. Yeah.
Is Ryan Gosling Canadian?
He is.
Steve Nash. Steve Nash, cool.
Yeah, you could do Steve Nash. Yeah.
Okay, Drake May.
He's good at football. Got a big arm.
What do you think about Drake May?
Okay, being serious, he is every single thing you want from a prototype as far as quarterbacks go. He's big body. He's 6'4", like a really lean, like 230. Like you could put some muscle on this kid, man. He's got a freaking cannon for an arm, very mobile. I compared him to Justin Herbert, and I think the same kind of flaws he had coming out of college are the same flaws Justin Herbert had. Where did he have the best supporting cast? No. There were times where Drake May had mechanical issues. Herbert had the same things at Oregon.
Belichick tore him a new one when he saw that footwork.
And it's a work in process.
Yeah.
And if you look at obviously, if you look at the comparison to obviously like someone like a Tom Brady who has the best footwork ever for a quarterback. Yeah, it needs to work. Patriots fans are getting a little impatient with quarterbacks with sloppy shit footwork, which is why I think I would be okay with sitting Drake May for the majority, if not all, of the season this year. Do what the Kansas City Chiefs did with Patrick Mahomes. It's okay. We're bad anyway. I would rather,
They said the Chiefs were pretty good.
Yeah, that is fair enough. But he learned under, Mahomes learned under Alex Smith. He ironed out some of his flaws that he had coming out of Texas Tech and came out ready to go. And I think you upgrade the supporting cast around Drake May. We're hell bent on doing that. We got 2 young receivers. Oh, we have some news.
The news dropped
from Adam Schefter.
Ah, boo.
The Patriots. So we're gonna break it right now. The Patriots have
Yeah, well,
decided not to explore.
rip the Band-Aid off. Let's just rip it off.
The Patriots have decided not to explore any further trade possibilities with the 49ers regarding Brandon Ayuk.
Ugh.
I'm gonna guess Brandon Ayuk was hell bent on not coming here.
Yeah.
Like, so you know what? We'll rip the Band-Aid off as well. We were gonna have a whole segment of Brandon Ayuk. Fuck that. We'll do it.
Yeah.
Right
now we just torch it. It's gone.
Yeah. Apparently, we're gonna give him well over 30 million or something like that. Top 5 receiver in the league money. Apparently, it was gonna be like a 2nd-round pick, Kendrick Bourne, and possibly Matt Judon or future picks or whatever the fuck. That's dead. It's dead. It's all dead. All right.
Can you keep talking while I post this on the page?
Let's switch to who actually wants to be a New England Patriot.
Drake May.
Drake May. You know what? Let's talk the receivers because in the 2nd round they took Jalen Polk. So let's talk Jalen Polk. Jalen Polk, 6'2", whatever, 210, something like that. He's a big body. Really reliable receiver. I don't see a super high ceiling with him, but I do see a reliable receiver 2, probably. A Robert Woods type of guy is who I compared him to. And I think he's going to be a great player to grow with going down the future. And guess what? Jalen Polk is actually embracing the Boston and the Patriots, unlike Brandon Ayuk.
No, right. Top 5 wide receiver money, he's just like, nah.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Never mind. Like, you know what? Whatever. If you don't want to be here, and you know what? I'm going to say this as well. If you don't want to be a part of the New England Patriots, I don't want you here. Truth be told, like, it's why we're going to talk about a little bit.
Who
but like,
are you, Brandon Ayuk, to turn us down?
This top 15, top 10 receiver, depending on who you ask in the league. Who are you? No, but like being serious, I want guys that want to be a part of the program and a part of the culture. And it's going to take time to build it back up again post-Brady. If Ayuk was hell-bent on not wanting to play here, okay, whatever. That's your opinion. You hold the leverage, I guess. Sucks to be us. Whatever. With that being said,
you're a bitch.
Yeah. With that being said, fuck you, Brandon Ayuk. No, being serious though, that definitely does suck. It does suck. I was really optimistic.
It's a little disheartening. We were built up so high.
It was really hot and heavy, and then
I was getting sweaty down here. I was ready to take my shirt off and start partying.
Yeah.
In the mood. It's a party.
Okay, so yeah, let's talk Jalen Polk, and
actually good wide receiver. Baker. Yeah.
2 young, exciting receivers. I think Polk like I said, Polk to me is like a Robert Woods. I think he's not like anything super, super flashy, but he's a good football player. Really good football player. He's going to fit in like a glove right away. And I think it wouldn't shock me if I hate the term 10-year NFL player because not a lot of guys make it 10 years in the league. But if we're looking and it's like 2032, 8 years from now, and you say Jalen Polk is either still a Patriot or he's still, in the NFL producing at a fairly high level, I'm like, yeah, that checks out. Yeah.
Can we talk about for a second the wide receivers that went in this kind of run, because the Patriots did trade down.
Yeah, we traded down the pick that became Lad McConkey.
So let's talk about the receivers that went between pick 28 and 37. Okay, because we took the last one of this run. You have Xavier Worthy from Texas with the Chiefs. You have Ricky Pearsall from Florida with the Niners. Xavier Legette trading up the Panthers from South Carolina. Keon Coleman with Buffalo and Lad McConkey, Georgia receiver to the Chargers. The thing I'm going to be watching like over the course of the next couple of years is, did the Patriots make a wrong decision by either not being more aggressive to move up, or did they pass up on Lad McConkey when they shouldn't have? Like, this is kind of a similar wide receiver race to the one we saw in 2019, just not as good. Like, 2019 had a class of studs. I don't think Keon Coleman is going to be Mike Evans. I don't think that Jalen Polk is going to flame out as bad as N'Keal Harry. I don't think Lad McConkey is Deebo Samuel. I don't think Xavier Legette is AJ Brown. On and on and on. But this is kind of a race to watch. Kind of see if we took a receiver that could play.
Okay. So a couple things here. We tried to trade up. It was between us and I believe Kansas City, or it was us or Carolina, or it was something. We offered either Buffalo or Kansas City. I can't even remember right now. But I know we tried to trade up for Xavier Legette. That was who we wanted to get at the end of round one. That didn't come to fruition. Carolina then took him at the end of round one. What I can tell you is this, and why I feel some comfort with Jalen Polk, is that the receivers coach for the New England Patriots is a man by the name of Tyler Hughes. He came from the University of Washington last year, where he was on the offensive staff there. This is a guy that's coming into the NFL. He's all fresh and green, and this is his brand new opportunity. And he went and said, I assume gave a word to Elliott Wolf and them, all the guys in the front office, and said, obviously, we can't get Romo Dunze. That's not happening because we need a quarterback, and we're not taking a Dunze top 3, and we're not getting back in the top 10. But Jalen Polk, this kid's pretty freaking special. This kid's pretty good. Coached him, worked with him. Oftentimes, you'll see former college coach or college coaches of a player, they'll kind of use car salesman a guy to get him drafted, but they're staying, the coach is staying at the school. Tyler Hughes is bringing this guy with them. He trusts him. So that to me gives me some confidence that, okay, if you feel confident enough that this kid is worth this pick, and you feel that you're willing to risk your validity, like I said, reminder, he's brand new to the NFL, that this kid is going to be great, and he's going to be kind of your magnum opus in your first year. That's a bold move. A little risky, sure, but I think Polk is going to.
He already looks pretty good in camp. He's made a lot of really good catches.
Like I said, Robert Woods, and that's not a bad thing. Robert Woods is a second-round pick in 2013. Robert Woods in a redraft's going top 15 in that draft. Robert Woods, I'm pretty sure, still playing in the NFL. He got drafted in 2013. That was 11 years ago.
Yeah, I think he's like a depth receiver on the Texans or the Titans nowadays.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
And he was really good in his peak with the Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you get Robert Woods out of that, be thrilled. You'd be thrilled with that.
You excited to see some Polk action on Thursday?
I am, yeah. I mean, if we're going to talk receivers, though, I'm most excited for it, though.
We have a couple of picks before that.
I know we do. I know. We have Caden Wallace and Layden Robinson ahead of him.
You have our future starting blindside tackle, Caden Wallace, out of Penn State. Another time where the Patriots just missed the bus on a position of need. And I don't say that to like rip into them really, but they took the last tackle of a big tackle run. You had Brandon Coleman from TCU go right in front of them. You had Kingsley Mattia go to the
So
Chiefs in
much,
front of that. You had Roger Rosengarten go ahead of that. And then Blake Fisher ahead of that if you want to go that high. Patrick Paul ahead of that. So from 55 to 68, you had how many tackles there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tackles. Six tackles go in 13 picks. The Patriots kind of missed the bus, and they got the guy that was last standing. Now, does that mean Caden Wallace sucks? No, not by any stretch. He played on one of the top 3 offensive line units in football, in college football in the nation. But I do have concerns about the Patriots sticking right tackles at left and just hoping it works out. What do we think?
Well, what I will say is this. Caden Wallace did kind of get a little screwed over in college off the fact that Olu Fashanu, who was the New York Jets, I think, he was top 15?
Top 10 pick. 10? I think he was top 10 pick.
Top 10 pick. Yeah. Was their starting left tackle the entire time he was there. And Olu Fashanu
11th. He won 11th.
He actually could have got drafted extremely high in 2023 as well, but stayed another year in college. So this kid's a stud. Caden Wallace, though, was a really good tackle for them. Always really reliable, good pass blocker, kept the quarterback clean there. And he could have played left. Like it would not have been an issue. It's just Olu Fashanu was there. So I don't have a problem with Caden Wallace moving over to left. I would say sit him for a year if you're going to do that, though. But this could be a really, really good football player. And I think a lot of people are talking about, like, oh, it's a reach and blah, 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 and all this stuff. Like, Jack Boyd's had him at this. And then you see, like, I didn't personally talk to him, but you see, like, on Twitter and stuff, a lot of the guys that coached up Caden Wallace, either at, like, bowl, like any of these, like, All-America type bowls or whatever, like Senior Bowls, or I think it was at the East-West Shrine. Say this guy was going to go that high regardless. He's not a reach. He's a good football player. And there's players on the draft board that people always miss the mark on, from what I've noticed. And he's one of them. And the same could, be said as well about Layden Robinson, if we want to segue that.
Yeah, just segue right into the offensive guard from Texas A&M, taken
another guy
where 103rd pick in the 4th round, 6'3", 330.
The league was higher on him than the draft boards were higher on him. And this is another guy, like Layden Robinson is a bit of an opposite profile. Layden Robinson, to me, reminds me a bit of Shaq Mason coming out of Georgia Tech. He's a road grader. He's an Alex Van Pelt kind of lineman where he's a pulling guard. He's a freak athlete. He's mean in the run game. But is he the best pass blocker in the world? No, he needs work there. But like I said, I don't know if I think he should start this year. But if you get a year or so of development under his belt, you get him working in the pass block stances and the right technique there. He plays mean. He's a good athlete. He's a good leader. He
might have to start, Ryan.
Okay, well, get ready to be put through the fire then.
Like he might have to start week 1. Like unless you feel really good about Nick Leverett or Antonio Maffei.
I liked Leverett in Tampa from what I watched of him.
Or you can kick Onwenu in a guard and then have City Sao move over to the left guard. And then you have a hole at tackle. 2 holes at tackles. Like you can't have 2 bums at tackles.
Yeah, the old line's a bit of a problem, which also like is another factor with Drake May. Let Jacoby kind of not take the beating per se. I don't like that kind of analogy, but like it's going to be rough. Let Jacoby, a grizzled vet, handle it. Yeah, but I do think Layden Robinson with some proper development could be a beast. I like his
Joe Tooney.
Like I said, I think he's more Shaq Mason than Joe Tooney.
Oh, that's right. You did say Shaq Mason. I was just thinking of late round guards.
coming out of college, coming out of Georgia Tech, was a freak athlete, freak run blocker. But the problem was because Georgia Tech, at his time there, only ran the option. He didn't know how to pass block. So Skarnecki got in the lab with him, and lo and
What?
behold,
How
Shaq
about
Mason, man.
Georgia Tech and those freak athletes, Shaq Mason, Keon White?
Yeah,
So
Calvin
what's in the
Johnson.
water down there?
It's Atlanta. Atlanta is like the pinnacle of like some like athleticism down there, man.
All right, time for you to get salivating and dig right
Oh,
into the. Are you a flats guy or a drums guy when it comes to chicken wings?
drums.
Yeah, me too. Um, Big drums guy over here. I don't like the flats because like you gotta eat like in between the bones to get a lot of it. Like I don't
Yeah,
like
I
that.
don't
I
like
like just
that.
picking it off. You know what I mean? Like just getting around it, and I don't like going through it. I like the around of it. So you're gonna dive right into this drumstick here and talk about Javon Baker out of UCF 6'1", 208, taken
Already
with
one of my
the
favorite Patriots.
taken with
Are
the
like,
110th pick in the fourth round. I think we traded up for him.
yeah, he's already one of my favorite Patriots, man. Like, did I said this when we drafted him, and I said it watching his college film like a couple months before the draft. I'm like, whoever gets this guy he's a fucking electric factory, man. All he does is just like make highlight after highlight after highlight. He's a little bit hectic with the comments and stuff like that. I mean, fuck, he could draft and he's like, I make people in wheelchairs stand up. Like,
That went over
he's
a lot
kind of,
better than I thought it was going to.
yeah. But you know what? Like, this is someone that, like, every time he steps on the field, it's showtime. Like, you're coming to see the Javon Baker show.
And
And
you got him in the fourth round.
yeah, for a Patriots team that, let's be real, has been lifeless, like, he brings that kind of spark. Now, what I will say about Javon Baker is he's a bit of a wild horse. It's a compliment and a negative. The complimentary end of the wild horse spectrum is that you get all the highlights in the world. You know, he's going to do something crazy. The negatives is that he might do something stupid. He also plays really sloppy in his technique. His routes are really good, but really aggressive and can be pretty sloppy. If you get him with, if you get him to be organized chaos, what is stopping Javon Baker from becoming a star? Like, I'm being dead serious.
It'd be him
I would
getting
make
in
the
his own
argument he's
way.
the most. Yeah, I would make the argument he's the most talented receiver on the Patriots right now.
Low bar, but
it is a low bar, but like to be a rookie, a fourth round pick, and like truth be told, I would have taken him where we took Jalen Polk. I had a really high draft grade on him. I love him. Javon Baker's like I said, he's already one of my favorite Patriots. Every single like, and I know Gerard Mayo got on him because he threw the ball up in the air after he made a highlight reel play, and Gerard's like, "Dude, you're not down. This isn't college." um, but yeah, that's what I mean. He's a bit of a wild horse, but like,
can you imagine he
you
does
contain
that
it.
like week 2 at home versus Seattle, and he just chucks the ball up in the air and he's not down?
He one hands it like Randy Moss style over Deontay Witherspoon, and then throws it.
He might get cut.
And then Gerard's just like, Jamon, what the fuck?
Could you see Bill Belichick taking a player like this ever?
I don't know, man. Like,
Definitely not in his later years because he just doesn't want to deal with it.
no. I think the mid 2000s Patriots would have gladly obliged on a Javon Baker. I mean, we signed Antonio Brown, but that was kind of a little more of a Tom Brady, saying that than Bill Belichick saying that.
Antonio Brown, he hasn't been in the news lately at all for anything.
Yeah, just ignores Twitter. Just society, please just ignore Antonio Brown.
It's gonna be really weird when he's up for the Hall of Fame and we have to be like, yeah, but one of the top 5 receivers at basically everything ever. But
yeah, like I remember they didn't even include Terrell Owens, and like Terrell Owens is a fucking saint compared to Antonio
Seriously.
Brown.
Did you ever think that you'd be calling Terrell Owens a saint and he's not like playing for the Saints in his age 50
Yeah,
season?
it's unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. But yeah, like Javon Baker, it wouldn't shock me if we talk about him like he's receiver one at the end of the year. But it also wouldn't shock me if, like I say, he's a wild horse. He could also piss off the coaches or whatever due to erraticness, and he's in the doghouse. I don't know. But the talent is there. And from what I've heard, he's got a great work ethic. Like, he works his ass off. And just please contain any of the craziness. That's all I ask. If you contain the craziness, what's stopping him? Only he can stop himself. And I truly believe that.
After that, there was the lone defensive player taken in this draft, Marcellus Dial, the captain defensive back for USC South Carolina, 6', 195, taken in the 6th round, 180th pick. I've heard great things about him as far as leadership. Obviously, he was the captain of South Carolina. Sticky in man coverage, little undersized, but what can you tell me?
I think you kind of summed up best. It wouldn't shock me if he starts off in the special teams department. But listen, I love man coverage corners a lot. I do think there has to be some merit to the fact that he was a sticky man coverage corner, great leader in the SEC, which is that's tough football, man. It's tough football. We'll see. We'll see with him. He's a 6th-round draft pick, but I mean the Patriots have had great history of late round corners, late and undrafted corners. So we'll see.
All right, Ryan, I'm going to give you the chance to put these idiots in the grave because I've about had it. Round 6, 193, the Mac Jones pick, if you will. We took 6'5", 245 athletic freak of nature, Joe Milton III, the quarterback from Tennessee, formerly of Michigan. So there's been buzz that he's competing with Drake May. Do we want to put any merit on that report from one Ben Trollen Volan? I'll let you take the reins.
Okay. I'll say this right now. It would be an abject fucking disaster if Drake May was getting completely outclassed by a 6th-round quarterback in the same draft as him. Abject disaster. Now, has Drake May had the best training camp? No, but we knew the gig with him coming into it. He was going to be raw. Who the fuck do you think Joe Milton is? There's a reason why a quarterback that can throw a mile like him and is a freak athlete, he's 6'5", 240, went in the 6th round. The guy, all he is bullet passes. He spams bullet passes. He has no touch. Like, he is the pitcher. Like, he's like Aroldis Chapman on fucking steroids, man. Like, all velo, all gas, no brakes, none of that. It wouldn't shock me if he breaks hands of freaking receivers. Like, fuck. Keep Javon Baker and Jalen Polk away from him, please. I'm sorry. This is asinine. It's an asinine take. It's, I don't know. I always view Joe Milton as like a Taysom Hill. And I think you should use him like an exciting Taysom Hill. Gadget plays. Listen, he's 6'5", 245, great at like a freak athlete, could throw the ball a mile. Like, maybe best case scenario as well, he becomes like Logan Thomas out of Virginia Tech, who is another freak that could throw a ball a mile, but no touch, none of that stuff. And he became a tight end and became decent. Starting quarterback? This is peak. This is just peak off-season talk, people. Please, enough.
No, this is
Enough.
the story. This is the storyline of bad football teams.
Yeah. And after what I say here, I'm done entertaining this. Can people fucking stop with the off-season bullshit narratives that happen every year about some player like last year was Bailey Zappi gonna come in and be the starter. All this stuff. What Bailey Zappi do? He reeks of ass.
Was just as bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Every single year, you have to hear some fucking scrub is gonna come in and like be the next.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna have a gold jacket by the end of his career. No, like I'm really complimentary of Javon Baker. You know why I'm really complimentary of Javon Baker? Because Javon Baker deserves the compliments. What has Joe Milton done to deserve the compliments?
I mean,
it's not even like he's been standing out.
He got a feature piece in the Boston Globe saying that he was better than Drake May. I mean, what do you want him to do?
Off what? One practice? Look at the college careers.
Off of 1 week of no padded practices. Yeah.
You congrats to 707's icon Joe Milton. Fuck, go put him in a flag football league.
Literally,
like, holy shit. This is. I'm done with that. I'm
walk
done
through
with
merchant Joe Milton.
And for what it's worth, I want Joe Milton as a Taysom Hill type, or like I said, a Logan Thomas to succeed, because I think he's going to be electric if used in that kind of role. He's not a starter. Like we know what
he's starting for you. Bad things have happened.
Yeah.
Whole team caught COVID.
Yeah. I'm done with that shit.
And since then, Drake May has turned it up, and Bolin came out and tweeted like it's not even close. So, can we stop with Joe Milton talk? If one more person texts me about how they have a good feeling about Joe Milton, I'm gonna punch them.
Yeah, not to put a little more of a damper, but NBC Sports has confirmed that Brandon Ayuk did not want to go to New England.
Shocker. He doesn't want to play football. Like he wants to make money. He doesn't want to play football. I'm being sarcastic, but
yeah.
Jaheim Bell, the tight end from Florida State, taken with the 231st pick.
Yeah, I think Jaheim Bell is going to be. He's a ball of clay. He's not the biggest tight end in the world. He's only like 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah, 6'2", 233.
Is he 233? Okay. Why was it 210? He's not a big dude, but he's a good athlete. Really productive in the yak. Hasn't done much in camp, but I mean, he also just put the pads on like yesterday, I think. So we'll see. I do think there was an interesting proposition with him where you use him a little bit in the kick return game with the new rules because of his run after catch ability, like get him breaking tackles and shit like that. He's a good enough athlete to warrant that. But he's a ball of clay. He's a 7th-round draft pick too. Like you take a chance on a guy like that every time. Like he had a lot of hype coming out of South Carolina and Florida State. That's the kind of player I'm cool with seeing get like extended opportunity in camp to see what you can work with him.
Absolutely. So yeah, there's your draft class. And the big re-signings. I mean, you gave Kyle. We can just kind of sum these up. Stevenson got the deal. Onwenu got the deal. Peppers got the deal. Henry got the deal. Kendrick Bourne got the deal, and he's going to be here to stay now.
Yeah, we're not trading him anymore.
Devon Gotcho here to stay. Christian Barmore dealing with blood clots. Probably, I would venture to guess he's not going to play this year.
Yeah. Gerard Mayo, the most important update is that Christian Barmore's gonna be okay. He's not gonna die. We're safe here.
That's long-term health, he's good.
Yeah.
So we'll
and
just
if he plays this year,
we'll see if and when he comes back. Yeah. Anthony Jennings got the deal. Jelani Tavai, David Andrews, and Kyle Duggar all got big deals. So the Patriots are paying their players. It's kind of
players to stay.
A new idea for the Patriots administration nowadays. What do you kind of make of that? Like just the urge to keep your players?
Well, the way I look at it is not only are you rewarding the good players that will want to stay, but like I said when we talk about Brandon Ayuk, if you don't want to play here, I don't want you here. So the fact that we got good players to stay. Were these guys the reason why the team was so shit last year? No, they weren't. Not in the slightest. They all got fair, reasonable contracts, I think. The only contract that was iffy on was Gutcho, but that was a bit desperate after
No,
Barmore.
you
So
had to at that point.
yeah, he also kind of bitched to the media about it. Um, we should segue it into this
That's what
as
exactly
well.
what I meant to do. I wanted to get your answer on that kind of philosophy, and then flip it on you when we talk about maybe the
Matt Judon.
most like this is basically the face of the team right now. Not counting rookie quarterback Drake May. Like, can you name a player that is like just popping for the Patriots more than Matt Judon is as a face of the franchise? Like, he is the feature player. I would
Like
say.
maybe Christian Gonzalez, but like he's still young
Not
and he's like
quite.
a
He only
rookie.
played a couple of games in his rookie year. I
Yeah.
think Judon is
Now,
the guy. The red
yeah,
sleeves, the personality, a whole 9 yards. We know what the deal is with his contract situation. He's upset. He's only going to make like $6.5 million base salary. A lot of the top end edge rushers are making 20 plus. I don't think Judon's going to make 20 plus. I think if you were going to like pay him, I will be pretty comfortable between 14 and 16 for a number for Judon. And I think that's basically what he's looking for and the commitment. He's going to be 32 next week. He also got hurt in the same game as Gonzo, tore his bicep, I believe it was.
that Cowboys game was an abject disaster.
And I almost went. I almost went to that game. Like me and Brian were planning out coming out of the
Oh, that would be
Dallas
fun.
a year in advance, and we were just like, yeah, we're good. Thank God. Thank God for that.
Yeah,
But what do you think of this whole Matt Judon thing? I mean, between the blow up between Wolf and Groh and Mayo to now they're kind of made up to where he's not practicing today. We don't know what looks like on Wednesday, but Tuesday he did not practice. And I don't think he'll. I would venture guess he's not going to play on Thursday as much as Mayo said. Everybody who's healthy is going to play. Well, I mean, this whole situation, Ryan. What do you make of it?
I think you got to find a compromise at this point. Late, what I want to see from Elliot Wolf here, this is his first truest test as Patriots GM, I would say, and Gerard Mayo. You can't be a pushover. You got to put your foot down, but you also need to find reasonable compromise if you can find it. You don't want to kick the guy out the door, but you also got to tell Matt Judon enough of the bullshit. We're not going on podcasts. We're not going to talk our contract situation on there. And quite frankly, and I hate that they rewarded him for this. When what Devon Godchaux said to the media, where he's bitching about his guarantees and stuff, I don't like that. I don't.
Didn't see that often with Bill.
Yeah, and if you did see with Bill put his foot down. Um, I don't think Wolf's a pushover. I don't think Mayo's a pushover. But
They're new.
they're new. Yeah. And Judon, you want to be a Patriot? Okay. Let's be reasonable. Elliot Wolf, draw Mayo. You don't fuck with him. Don't fuck with his money. But at the same time, if you're gonna be reasonable and he doesn't want to be reasonable, then okay. You move on from him. But if you're gonna fuck around and dick around with his money and stuff like that and just not give him a proper contract, give him even just any semblance of a respectable contract offer, if I'm Matt Judon, I would probably tell him to shove it as well. But it does go back to we want guys to be Patriots as well. I'm a fan of the team first. I do completely understand and sympathize with Judon though if it's one of those like I'm an elite football player for you and this
Yeah,
is
and
what's
obviously
happening
he's
here.
been a pretty solid football player, to say the least, when he's out there.
Yeah.
In last year, he played 4 games, he got 4 sacks. 2022, 15 and a half in a Pro Bowl. 2021, 12 and a half in a Pro Bowl. But like I said, be 32 next week, coming off the torn bicep. The Patriots probably don't want to give him a ton of guaranteed money, but he doesn't have any right now.
Yeah.
Tough
And
spot.
another thing you should know is you have a lot of salary cap space. Would it kill you to offer it to Jude? Like offer
Hey, there's no more money
fair
reserved for
contract?
Brandon Ayuk. Can we throw some
Yeah,
Judon's way?
you're gonna. And obviously, it's a bit different because Ayuk is 26, prime of his career, elite receiver. But Judon's an elite pass rusher in the twilight of his career, coming off a major injury. But he's clearly a well-revered guy in the room. You know, you need to find compromise here, and you need to find it ideally before the end of the month, if not sooner. This is getting ridiculous here. Find compromise, or it's going to be an abject shit show. Like, just please, that's all I ask. Find compromise.
And we'll see how that develops. I think seeing what happens on Thursday is going to be big.
Yeah.
I wonder if
Even
they're more
tomorrow
motivated now
with the
to get it
practice.
done with Judon now that Ayuk's not coming, and they're like, we have this money now. Let's just plug this hole.
Yeah.
All right, we got some
Let's.
position battles. Let's go through them, and then we'll talk about the preseason game, and then we'll close. We went over Drake May versus Joe Milton. It's done. So now the question is, when do you think Drake May should be? Is he ready to take the reins now? Do you think he should be ready to play week 1? What's your expectation there?
I think it's Jacoby Brissett starting until further notice, unless Drake May is just like
Cool. Head and shoulders.
destroyer
Yeah,
of worlds. Like,
I agree.
unless he makes it so convincing that you have to start him, just put Jacoby out there. Let's minimize risk. What's admittedly going to be a lost season.
And
Let's do that.
on top of that, what do you think about Bailey Zappi? Like, he's not getting any reps with the team at any point. He's expected to play on Thursday despite not having any practices. Why is he here?
All I can say about Bailey Zappi is I like Chick-fil-A sauce in my Chick-fil-A chicken. That's all I got.
So nothing.
Yeah. Why are
What do you
you
think?
still
What do you
here?
think he could fetch in a deal?
The dog shit on my backyard?
Because
I
listen,
don't
like
know.
he's a capable quarterback. Like he's not good, but
A
he played.
conditional, like,
He won games last year. Like the Seattle Seahawks could use him as a backup.
a conditional 7. Like,
You think that's
Mac
it?
Jones couldn't
You
even
don't
get
think that
you
he'll
like a
fetch more than Mac
6.
Jones?
No, because he's just as shitty as Mac Jones is. It's like, I
Yeah,
don't know.
but the value should be higher because he didn't blow up like Mac
What
Jones.
what I could see with Bailey Zappi maybe is like, okay, to not be as condescending about it, is maybe if failed player for failed player swap. I'm gonna say failed player, but like underwhelming player for underwhelming player somewhere. You can find those around the league. Like, he said Seattle. Like, I'm sure there's probably someone in Seattle that like is on the outs that had some pedigree in the past that you can look at a swap
With a
there.
corner, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He's a bum. Like, he's not that good. I'm sorry. Like, there's not much I can
Like
say
for
about
me
him. That's
personally, the
awesome.
motivation is just getting rid of that 2023 QB room.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think Zappy could fetch a 4th-round pick. I think you could get equal value.
I don't know about fourth.
I think you could. A team desperate enough.
I would be thrilled if they get a fourth. I don't know. I like I said, I think it'd be failed for like, I'm not failure for failure, but like, you know what I mean? Underachiever for underachiever type thing.
Not to say that I hope that a quarterback goes down somewhere around the league, but if they do, there's no way Zappy's not one of the first names called.
Yeah, get desperate, please, someone.
Seriously. All right.
Um,
Which wide receiver gets cut? Tyquan Thornton, Juju Smith-Schuster, Jalen Rager, Kayshon Boutte. Which wide receiver or wide receivers are going to get cut? Which ones aren't making it out of camp?
I don't think Juju's making it.
And he has the
Straight
biggest
up, he's been
contract.
terrible. He looks washed up from what I've heard.
When he's
The
not dropping
knees,
passes, he's slipping.
clearly the knees fried. He doesn't have the same juice he ever really had. A whole lot of he's just kind of there to collect paychecks and not be that good.
How do you feel
I,
about
I,
How do you feel about
Take a
Taekwon?
loss. Taekwon's been better, but like I feel like every off season has kind of been like, this is the year Taekwon Thornton breaks it. This is the year Taekwon Thornton breaks it. This is the year. Show it. I don't. I'm not cheering against him. I'm not even cheering against Juju. But like, show it. If you can't, whatever.
I
Bye.
think I think
I'm not
Taekwon's
attached to
cooked.
you.
Like I don't see it there. He doesn't have NFL player size.
Yeah, he's very. He's also kind of one of those fast for nothing kind of receivers.
He's like a worse Marquez Valdez-Scantling,
Yeah,
a worse me Cole Hardman.
yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah, I think you
Like
said it perfectly.
shittier
Speed for
Aaron
nothing.
Dobson.
Speed for nothing. Yeah, you be putting nail on the head. And then obviously Jalen Rager's been impressing in camp.
I don't think he gets cut regardless
No,
because they need a kick returner. And
he was very good last year.
yeah, like listen, he's a bust for a first round draft pick. Let's just call it what it is, especially knowing Justin
We
Jefferson.
didn't draft him there, that's for sure.
But New England didn't make that pick. He's a house money player for New England. Um, he's got great speed. He's very dynamic with the football in his hands. I think he's one of those guys. I don't know how much success he'd have as a receiver, but like kind of a gimmicky player. Like just get the football in his hands a couple times a game, see if he can break something off. He's fast. Like I think he stays. And then Keishon Butte, I mean, outside
He
of
had
the
two
whole
great catches in practice today. That was the first time that I really noticed him.
preseason games are pivotal for him. I mean, shit, dude, your offseason was disaster, man. Like
Charges were dropped.
they were dropped, but like the fact you're implicated to begin with is a disaster.
All right.
Yeah.
LT1. Who's getting it? Between Caden Wallace, Vidarian Lowe, Chuck Okafor, and Calvin Anderson. What do you think?
The core four. I think it's the core four. And then I think core four is only on 1 year contract. And then Caden Wallace will take the reins next year.
Where does Anderson and Lowe fit into the roster?
I think Lowe, unless he shows out, gets cut. I think Calvin Anderson is a swing tackle.
All right. And then just down the list, Jake Andrews, tore his meniscus. He's on IR.
Yeah, that's not fun. Cole Strange, tore his patellar tendon at the end of last year. I don't even know what the hell's going on with him anymore.
Do we know if he's alive? Yeah, Cole Strange?
Yeah. Yeah, who even knows?
Like, who's seen him lately?
Has
he been in the building?
Like locked in like the locked in the basement of Gillette Stadium.
Like everybody just wants to forget that we took him in the first round in 2022.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Draft Tech here had Cole Strange as a reach of minus 48.
Bill.
Taekwon Thornton was a reach of minus 56.
Bill.
Jack Jones reach of 45. See, that's like
he's actually good at football, but
Jack Jones is the defensive version of Javon Baker. He could be really good or it could be really bad.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
Let's talk about this preseason game.
Yeah. So
week 1 of the preseason, Thursday night, Patriots, Panthers. It's in Foxboro, right?
Yep.
Yeah, home game.
Yep.
No Bryce Young. No Bryce
Young.
Nope.
But all 4 quarterbacks for the New England Patriots will play. Apparently, that's what Gerard said.
Yep. Everybody who is healthy enough to play will play.
Which will Red Sleeves make an appearance? That'll be interesting.
I really don't know. It's a weird spot.
Yeah, that's gonna be fascinating. Well, what I'll be looking out for is who could stand out in the receiver room. Obviously Drake May, is the most obvious, but the receiver room, someone's got to stand out there. My money's on Javon. But it would be really nice to see anybody else there besides Baker or Polk kind of really take it by the horns there and make their status. Like we said a lot about KJ Osborne. KJ, this is your time to shine, dude. Make your mark.
Dan Rager.
Yeah, Jalen Rager. Like I said, he's got dynamic upside. I don't know how great he is as a receiver, but he's dynamic. Take it by the horns, man. This is your chance. I want to see these guys. I want to see any guy on the team with any tangible upside show themselves here. This is the thing about a bad football team is there's always going to be roster spots open in the starting spots because very few guys have truly solidified their spot. So I think there are opportunities here for guys to really make their mark in New England. And I'm looking out for anybody there in those spots. If I can give a sleeper pick for this one, and it's because
Quay Jackson.
no, in the cornerback room, there's not a whole lot of boundary guys outside of Christian Gonzalez. I really liked what I saw from Alex Austin last year, and I think he's done a pretty solid job in training camp so far.
No,
Not only that,
things.
but he is the nephew of Patriots legend Willie McGinnis, too. Why not root for the kid to be in the spot? If you can get another good boundary cornerback, especially a cornerback that's pretty proficient in man coverage like Alex Austin's been, that'd be really nice to see. I would like to see him take it by the horns in the game versus Carolina.
You're missing a name that I thought you'd mention that we talked about pre-show. Steel Chambers, linebacker.
Oh, Steel Chambers. So I live in Buckeye territory. I live in Columbus right now. I watched Steel Chambers his entire time at Ohio State. Was signed as a UDFA by the Detroit Lions. Got cut. I don't know. I guess he didn't eat enough nails for breakfast. There. Dan Campbell's like, you're not like us. But I really liked Steel Chambers at Ohio State when I watched him play football there. Really athletic, hard hitter. He's a convert from running back to linebacker. It wouldn't shock me if he makes his mark originally as a special teamer and keeps on working his way up with the hard-hitting athleticism he possesses. He's still raw. He might be a bust. He's a project. But the upside's there to have a really exciting, hard-hitting, fun linebacker to watch. Think of like an even rawer version of Devin White coming out of LSU. And Devin White went top 5, so it's a little different. But Devin White, really raw linebacker, but really the highs are high, the lows are low. Lots of flash, lots of, speed, hard hitting. Coverage is a question. Instincts are a question. But if you can coach him up, and Gerard Mayo, being the former linebacker, he is one of the smartest linebackers I've seen play football. Get him in the room with him. What's stopping Steel Chambers? And another kid I saw as well on Spot Rack, and I forgot the Patriots to sign him from the international program. Hold on, I just got to pull up. Jotham Russell, the linebacker from Australia. He's 20. He just turned 21, a fresh 21-year-old. He's a big body kid.
6'4", 239.
Yeah, came up playing rugby. That's another.
He's listed as a D-end on ESPN.
They're saying linebacker on Spot Rack, but he can maybe come off the edge or whatever.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, international pathway players have roster exemptions. Like Jakob Johnson, who was another international pathway player success story for the Patriots as a fullback, was roster exempt. If you can cook it up with this kid and he's willing to be a ball of clay, like think of Philadelphia took Jordan Mailata in the 7th round. He was a big, raw ball of clay, former rugby player, offensive tackle, like 6'8", like 360 or something insane like that. Just a freak. They coached him up in their offensive line academy, and now he's one of the best tackles in the NFL. Jotham Russell, he could be nothing at all. Like he could be a bust for all we know. Like he could just pan out or burn out. But there's ball of clay there. And I really hope New England works with him extensively, knowing he's young and has a lot of upside. So those are my linebacker picks there. Still Chambers and Jotham Russell.
Nope. I like what you said. Personally, I'm going to be really looking out. Was it Isaiah Bolden who had the big injury
It was
Green Bay?
Bolden, yeah. That
I'm
was
looking.
rough to watch.
I'm happy that he's back. I'm happy that he's playing football again. I hope that he's out there and he shows that he can play. Shaun
sure.
Wade, let's see how he fits in. I mean, he's probably going to be a guy.
Shaun Wade's still a Patriot?
Yeah, he is.
Are you?
Yeah.
Shaun Wade is Teflon. He is
Teflon Shaun.
Like,
somebody get those shirts printed. Teflon Shaun.
Teflon Shaun, man. If he makes the roster again, we might have to print shirts off of that. Teflon Shaun. Like,
will you wear it on the pod?
Insane.
Will you wear a Teflon Shaun shirt?
I would, man. Hey, listen, I watch Shaun Wade's another guy. I watched freaking collegiate career, man. Here in Columbus.
I know a guy who can print those shirts. Teflon Shaun. We can print them. We can print them for the fans.
Listen, if he makes the Patriots roster and we get a Teflon Shaun shirt, I will wear it to a Buckeye game. I will wear that, and I'll flaunt that proudly.
Yeah, you have any design ideas?
You know, like the Teflon Don Rick Ross album cover?
But it's Shaun Wade.
Yeah, it's Shaun Wade on there.
And then you have the 26 Wade on the back.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
For the
you know what?
Foxboro.
I want Shaun Wade to make the roster now. Teflon Shaun, let's do it.
Teflon Shaun.
I have to make the title of the episode, man. Teflon Shaun.
Honestly, maybe I gotta figure out like how I want to start like titling the episodes. Like, do I want to go away from the dates and just?
I like the idea better, just to make it like a topic of the show, like just something that sticks, man.
Season 2, episode 1, Teflon Shaun. We'll chat about it, but yeah, Shaun Wade looking out for it. O'Shane Ximines, let's see how he fits in. Offensively, who's going to be the next Devin Lucian, Brian Timms, Austin Carr? You know.
Yeah, I would have to think that might be Kayshon Boutte. Like, if you think about it, right? Like, late round draft pick. We're all high on him, but, you know.
Yeah, these are going to mean a lot for Kayshon Boutte. And then Jaheim Bell. He's an undersized tight end. I'm looking forward to seeing how he slips in.
It should be fun. I'm actually looking forward to the preseason, man. It's fun. It's so much fun to get back into the fold of things, man. And it's gonna be an electrically bad season.
And all eyes will be on one number 10 quarterback, Drake.
Mac Jones. Wrong team.
When is the Jacksonville preseason game? I might just look at that just to remind ourselves of where we were.
Mark down every Mac Jones miss. Be like, pretty interesting.
I don't know, Jim. Who would have taken him round 1? They play on Saturday night against Kansas City.
On Saturday. Yeah. NFL Network. Okay.
I'll watch that.
I think I'll be watching that too. I'll be hate watching it.
We should live watch that. We should do a watch along.
Yeah. Watch along Mac Jones' failure. Now, let me say, I'm the biggest hater. I hate the way you walk, the way you talk.
Who's going to look better in their limited time, Mac Jones or Bailey Zappi?
Yeah. Mark, we'll come back to the show next time and mark down who did better.
All right. Well, that was season 2, episode 1 of the Foxboro BeatCast. Ryan, thank you for coming back. See you next week. Attaboy.
Yeah.
Attaboy. Next week.
It'll be good, man. It'll be fun. Next week will be electric.
We'll recap the first preseason game. We'll go over anything that we want to go over. We'll talk about some league thoughts. We'll get back into the swing of things, but it was good to get the juices flowing once again. Enjoy your Wednesday. Enjoy week 1 of preseason Patriots football. And go Pats. Am I right?
Yeah, baby.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and we will get back to you next week. Thank you. Thank you for watching.
Thanks for tuning in to this edition of the Foxboro BeatCast. Make sure you like and subscribe and follow us on Facebook and Instagram.